Welcome to StartupHakk. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers and build custom software solutions. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership experience and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. So the tech market has been challenging, with a wave of developer layoffs impacting the industry. And I know there's folks out there looking for jobs as software developers. So let's delve into a few reasons why this job market is particularly tough and what it can mean for developers. All right, so let's dig in a little bit today here and talk about things. So there's definitely been a layer of economic uncertainty, and this has significantly affected the tech job market. So companies are more cautious about their spending, which often leads to layoffs and hiring freezes. This cautious approach creates a more competitive environment for available positions. Developers have to stay agile and be prepared for fluctuations in jobs availability. So understanding economic trends and how they impact the tech sector can help you to navigate this challenging landscape. So be proactive and be adaptable, and that's key in surviving and thriving in times like this. Now, I do think we're also hitting a little bit of an oversaturation in the market. The tech industry has seen an influx of new graduates and self-taught developers entering the market. While this is great for innovation, it leads to an oversaturation, that's a hard word to say, especially for entry-level positions. So the increased competition means developers need to differentiate themselves with a unique skill set and experiences. So building a strong portfolio and gaining practical experience can set you apart. Networking and personal branding are more important than ever in an oversaturated market. Stay focused on continuous learning and your skill enhancement. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why I think we're seeing some of this downturn, and I've been reviewing some of these. I'm going to shift over here to a different screen really quick. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some of these charts, right? We see these job openings versus interest rates. Now, I think this is a really fascinating chart. I'm going to blow these up just a little bit here. There's definitely not a coincidence to the fact that as we see, the job market go up, right? As we've seen, in 2020, all the way up through in the 2024, as we've seen the number of openings, and this is open, right? So open positions versus the interest rate. I don't think there's a coincidence here as we see interest rates rise and as we see interest rates come down to see job openings come up, right? And he lays these two out over the top of each other. And I think this is really the telling sign of why we're seeing so many layoffs right now. So, where a lot of people, a lot of developers particularly may not necessarily watch the finance market very closely, I think this really is an important thing to understand, that as interest rates go up, we're going to see tech. Now, that just means that we have to be nimble and be able to shift, because as I've seen a lot of this, I've also seen the consulting opportunities really go up. People want to get into software still, but they don't want to be committed to it long term, and that's because these interest rates are so high. Here we also see another graph, right? So we see that as interest rates, as we see this graph go up, we see also it followed by the layoffs that have happened. And so as development becomes more expensive, higher interest rate leads to an economy running leaner, more geopolitical instability leads to more volatility, and increased regulations leads to slower growth and increased cost of innovation. Given this outlook, we'll need to operate more efficiently than our previous headcount reduction to ensure success. This was from Zuckerberg, who was pretty open about what they were doing there. So that's one of the big things that we're really seeing. So some of the other things that you can do, we're seeing some rapid technological advancements. So rapid pace of technology advancements can be both a blessing and a curse. Make sure you stay up to date with the latest technology. And here at StartupHakk, we try to bring you guys coding videos, as well as these lives, to really give you a feel for where the market's going. But it also means that skills can also become quickly outdated. Developers must commit to continuous learning and adapting to new tools and frameworks. I know we teach the .NET development platform, and even with .NET, if you're not staying up on the latest, you get outdated pretty quickly. So this constant need for upskilling can be overwhelming, but it's necessary to stay relevant. So embrace a growth mindset and seek out learning opportunities to keep your skills current. Staying ahead of the curve can give you a competitive advantage in the market. Now, we're also seeing a shift to remote work. The shift to remote work has opened up job opportunities globally, but also increased the competition. Companies can now hire from global talent pools, making it harder for local developers to secure positions. So, to really stand out, developers should highlight their remote work experience and ability to collaborate effectively in virtual environments. This is a very definitive skill, um, especially if you're looking at being a lead or a manager or an architect. Developing strong communication skills and proficiency with remote collaboration tools is essential. Embrace the flexibility of remote work and leverage it to explore opportunities beyond your local market. Position yourself as a versatile and adaptable worker. And so I know I've had interviews where I've been interviewing for a remote employee, and they're like, "Well, I really like working in the office." I'm like, "This isn't a remote, this is a remote job." Now, there's definitely been an impact of automation and AI. So, automation and AI are transforming the tech landscape, and it's leading to concerns about job displacement. While automation can streamline the process, it means that certain roles may become redundant. Developers need to focus on areas that require human creativity and problem solving skills. So, this is a great thing for like DevOps and some of those kind of things that are going to be really difficult for AI to try to come and replace. But emphasize your ability to work alongside AI and automation technologies. So I know I've heard developers in job interviews who are like, "Oh, AI is crap." It's not really a great stance when most executives are wanting to implement AI somewhere. So we want to talk about how we can implement and how we can use AI. So specializing in a field like AI development or machine learning and data science can provide job security, and we are seeing huge growth in those fields. Stay informed about emerging technologies and their potential impact on the job market. And that goes right into the next part. You've got to stay for, there's a huge demand for specialized skills. And I teach this all the time to especially junior developers. The demand for specialized skills is increasing, making it essential for developers to have expertise in specific areas. So if it's AI, for instance, dive in, build some great stuff with AI, and then make sure that you're really leveraging your cover letter and your resume to explain that, right? But then you can also go out and look for jobs that specialize in this. So fields like cybersecurity is a huge exploding area. Blockchain is still out there, Web 3.0, especially as Donald Trump marches toward a very likely presidential run this fall. And cloud computing are experiencing high demand. So tailor your learning and career development to focus on these specialized areas and highlight your specialized skills in your resume and your portfolio. Definitely want to attract people with that. And if you want to dig into some consulting work, it's the best way to dig into a consulting work is go find somebody who needs you to specialize in a specific thing. And so I tell people all the time, make sure you have a portion of your resume that lists out all the various different specific skill sets you have. So if you've integrated a certain type of CRM, if you've whatever those things are, and then call those out because somebody may look to hire somebody who knows just that thing. Now, funding is a challenge for startups right now, right? We're seeing startups really hitting a big roadblock in facing funding. We haven't seen a lot of IPOs. Investors are more cautious, and they're not funding into startups as much. So this is resulting in fewer job openings and potential layoffs in the startup ecosystem because startups are having to run even more lean than they've ever been required to before. And I think there is a natural correction that needs to happen here. I think there was too much funding that was being dumped into startups with very low potential for output. But so I think we're seeing a natural correction even in the amount of funding that's gone into startups over the last 15 years. But definitely consider the financial stability of a startup before you join and be prepared for uncertainties. Explore opportunities with well-established companies that can provide job security. Now, some people really like startups, and I'm going to do a podcast or probably do a live tomorrow on why working for a startup is great. But, it comes with its ups and downs, right? Now, there's also geopolitical factors I've already mentioned here, right? And that can definitely impact the tech market. Just yesterday we saw Kamala Harris say, she's replacing Biden, and now she's the leading candidate. And we're seeing already some different shifts in the market that are happening because of some of those geopolitical changes. And so even as we march toward a very likely Trump presidency this fall, we're seeing even some skittishness around chip making and some other things that can impact that because there's different trade tensions, there's regulatory changes, and political instability, and it can affect the tech market for sure. And people are trying to predict where a particular candidate is going to place things. So whether it's Donald Trump with crypto, or whether it's some of these other candidates with Kamala or Biden with thoughts towards AI, or if you're in the social media space and seeing restriction on TikTok, whatever those things are, a lot of these can definitely impact the tech industry. So understand these factors. Be careful to watch out for the FOMO, right? Because there's a lot, or for the FUD, right? The fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because a lot of that can be totally not totally misplaced. So, but keep an eye on the global market and try to guide that toward our last part, where you're really going towards specialized skills as you watch that market. So the other part is changes in consumer spending, right? When AI first hit, if you had any kind of AI in your name, you could sell things like crazy. We've been working with AskMany.ai for a long time, and we were definitely a little later to the game because mostly I was trying to actually specialize my skills, which is why we built that out as a side project. And I wanted to learn as many different LLMs as possible, so that's why I started AskMany.ai, which gives you the ability to query against different multiple AI engines, LLMs, with one click. So you can highlight part of a page, and it'll send it to multiple LLMs. I wanted to be able to learn about the different LLMs and their strengths and weaknesses. And so that's just one example of how I tried to stay specialized on a particular skill set. And so I started up a whole brand of AskMany.ai. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a great little chatbot. Allows you to switch between Gemini, ChatGPT, Mistral, Stable Code, and we're adding new ones all the time. And I have a lot of fun with it. And so go check out AskMany.ai. But anyways, so there is changes in these consumer spending, and you want to make sure that you watch these changes because companies may adjust their strategies, which will affect job opportunities for developers. I remember when I was working for GoDaddy back in the mid-2010s, they had an email marketing tool, and the market space just got really crowded. GoDaddy decided they didn't really want to keep fighting with that, and so they did a shift, and they let that whole team go. Now all of us ended up going to find other places inside of GoDaddy, but that's, again, some of those things, experiences that you can have that can impact it. So make sure your skills are adaptable and make sure you focus on certain areas and that you can align with different market demands. So developing products and services that cater to current consumer needs can enhance your job perspective. When we started Clean Router, parents were super skittish about their kids online, right? We've seen a lot of change of how we work and interact online. We started Clean Technology and Clean Router, which is a router that filters the internet for parents and makes it so that we'll filter the internet for all the devices rather than having to manage the parental controls on every single device and every platform. But so we originally did this because in 2009, when we really launched this, parents didn't know how to manage the internet. And so they really did need help to be able to help manage the internet for their kids. And that's been a great tool, and we still sell a lot of them. And so go check out cleanrouter.com if you've never heard of it. But so stay agile and stay responsive, because as we watch consumer markets change, it becomes very important to watch those and to manage with those. Now, overall, I'm super positive on the outlook for the future. I know that interest rates are high. We are starting to see signs that the job market is coming back for developers. There's a lot of people who say that AI is going to take the job market away. I couldn't disagree more. I was reading a report that said that 96% of all CEOs want to integrate AI into their platform, into their technology, into their company somewhere. They're not going to do that out of the box. There's no out-of-the-box AI to plug in. And so that's going to require developers. And so I have a very positive outlook for the tech job market. Trends are indicating that the market will start to improve this fall. And we're starting to already see some of those signs of the trends. So I think we're going to see significant growth into 2025. And I think a lot of those projects are already kicking off in 2024. I know we're getting a lot of interest in our consulting side of the business. So developers should definitely stay optimistic, continue to build their skills and their network. Preparing for a future job market by staying informed and adaptable will pay off. Embrace opportunities for growth and be ready to seize new job prospects as they arise. The tech industry remains dynamic and full of potential for those who are prepared. Navigating the current job market requires resilience and adaptability. Stay informed, keep learning, and be prepared for the opportunities that are ahead of you. I've always said that opportunity is when you have skill plus desire and it ends up with a lot of work. But I promise that it'll be there for you. So what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Haven't gotten any chats while I'm on here, but I see lots of people on and off. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure you leave me a comment, even if just to say hello, because I love getting comments from everybody. It's the best thank you that I can get is when you leave especially a thoughtful comment. I really like working with developers because it seems like I get really good comments. I get very few that are just like, you're an idiot, but I do get some of them. So if you think I'm an idiot, tell me I'm an idiot. I'm okay with that. But make sure you like and subscribe, because here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers in our coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for people. So reach out if you need some help. We would love to, and we'll have a link down below. And otherwise, we will catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.